Saturday nights are made for fighting, and it's made for the garage, and it's made for Collision After Dark.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. Tell me all your information.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your October 14th, 2023 edition of The Garage, also known as Collision After Dark. I am the effing expert, Mr. Eyesiks.
And I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. My name is Canada Dry. Halos up.
Halos up.
Halos up.
We
baby.
got another one here as well. It's our usual trios guy here, man. We are the trios world champions of podcasting on Saturday nights. You're not going to find a trio on Saturday night that talks about pro wrestling better than the three of us. Introduce yourself, fine sir.
What's up, guys? It's me. It's the effing Golden Graham. And before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to my wife. It's our 17-year anniversary today. Just want to say I love you.
I thought
I'm so happy that I could help you guys stay together for that 17 years. Like, it feels like it's a marriage of three, you know?
I appreciate all that you've done, Canada.
I try.
Yeah, I thought I had seen that on Facebook earlier today. So congratulations. It's a hell of a milestone for sure.
Thank you.
Congratulations are in store. I'm glad
We're not worthy.
I'm glad the missus allowed you to spend the anniversary evening with us.
She's currently sleeping, so it's okay.
Yeah. As most
you know what I said when he said he was still allowed on the show? I said you need to re-sign her for another 4 years.
Oh, geez.
Extend the contract.
Extend the contract for another 4 years.
All of a sudden, he's on the coach because he says this. It's meant to be a compliment, and it just didn't work out that way.
I see we got Caleb in the chat. What's going on, man? We got Noob.
What's going on, guys?
We got Maddie B.
Got Maddie B. What's going on, my man? I'm glad to see you guys here this evening. Welcome. And let's go ahead and get started, gentlemen. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I missed the first 1 to 2 minutes. So I didn't see the little opening promos. Did they do the little usual Collision open promos?
There wasn't one tonight.
I didn't think there was because I tuned in it was probably 8:01 when I clicked it over, and I didn't see it. So
it's probably it's probably because they just did the opening promo in the opening segment tonight. It's probably why.
And because Ant-Man went a little bit too long.
That damn Ant-Man. Squash him like the bug he is.
He needs to be in a squish match.
We had a couple of those tonight. We'll get there. Adam Copeland comes out in the opening segment, starts talking for a couple minutes. That brings out Cage with a bunch of security, Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne in tow. They get in the ring, talk their shit for a few minutes. Danielson comes out and announces that Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne have been banned from ringside.
Not Nick. Oh, that's terrible.
Yep. Yep. And unfortunately, his mother wasn't at ringside either. So that's very unfortunate for me. Ricky Starks and Big Bill come out. They cut a promo about how they're real champions and yada yada. They want to fight Danielson and Copeland. FTR comes out. This ends up becoming a huge schmoz. The security tries to attack them. Guys, they weren't real security. They were actually hired thugs.
I said in our chat, I was like, Christian's personal security leaves a lot wanting.
It kind of
What I
reminds me
want to
of
know is why do you hire a security where one guy's in a suit and tie? I was like, what? Did he insist on doing this as part of his gimmick? Like,
maybe he thought
made
he
him,
was
made
supposed to
him,
be like
made him look like important when he didn't need to be.
right. He thought he was like a Secret Service man. That's what he thought he was. And
on top of that, Christian, maybe next time don't have them wear AEW security shirts.
Yeah. It's like, what's the deal? Tony Khan gave these guys officially licensed security shirts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, probably.
Matthew Messenger says, I think Willow and Sky Blue will turn heel.
We're gonna get there, my man.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
don't rush. Don't rush the train before it comes down the track. Choo choo.
Yeah, we got to slow it down a little bit, pump the brakes a little bit. There,
Now,
Maddie.
I really liked what the Rated R Superstar said to Ricky Starks.
No,
He got Ricky off his game.
I'm looking at The Rock Jr. over there. Shut up and know your role.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, like Adam Copeland kind of like he hit him with a couple pretty good barbs there.
Yeah.
And it's like it didn't even seem like it was really his turn to speak. Like he just wanted to throw that out there for some reason. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, so this was just kind of like an all over the place schmoz, which ironically kind of was the exact same thing at the very end of the show that we'll get to. But what did you gentlemen think of this opening segment? I'll start with Golden Graham.
I enjoyed it. It set up a lot of potential matches in the future. Like I'm very surprised at some point tonight we didn't get announced like, oh, there's an 8-man tag next week on Collision. So, but
Cluster F tag.
Yeah, but I've never like it didn't feel like Ricky was quite up to the moment. Like he definitely struggled a bit delivering his promo tonight.
You know, I'm struggling. Me seeing you without those glasses.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to clean them off.
It's like seeing Millhouse without the glasses. You're like, what?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Canada F and Dry, what did you think of the opening segment here?
Oh, I like these kind of openings. You know, it feels very Raw, like Monday Night Raw back in the day.
Yeah.
As everyone comes up, says their piece, and it gets everyone really excited for the show. Like Bryan Danielson, like saying, "Let's do it now. Forget the end of the show. Let's do it now." Like you're like, "Oh, maybe." Like it gets things kind of gets the blood boiling.
Yeah, I thought this was a nice little hot open for the show. I enjoyed it for what it was. I get what you're saying there. The comparison of the kind of like an old school Raw, where like the corporation would come out with McMahon, and then DX would come out, then Austin would come out, and then Foley would come out, and they would all just end up brawling.
It's the good Raw opening, not the Triple H and the Authority talking for 40-minute opening.
Exactly. Back when Raw was actually a watchable program.
What do you think about Caleb's suggestion here? Adam Copeland versus Ricky at Full Gear?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I really think it's going to be. I really think we're getting Adam and Christian at Full Gear.
Yeah, that's definitely
Adam and Christian.
Because
Ricky and Danielson, I guess maybe.
Because Ricky, and plus, I guarantee you, it's going to be Ricky and Big Bill versus the Bucks.
Yeah,
Full Gear. It's in South. It's in South Cali. It's in the Bucks' home. Yep. They're probably gonna. I don't know if they'll win, but they're definitely going to have their title shot there.
That makes total sense. Here's something I thought was interesting. Tony Schiavone is like anchoring the show. Like he's in the middleman seat on commentary, and he's actually kind of like the lead commentator here over Kevin Kelly. What do we make of this? I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought of this.
I'm not a big fan of it. I really enjoy Kevin Kelly as a lead commentator.
I will tell you, my personal opinion is that Shivani really struggled being the lead guy. Like, you can tell this is not something he's done anytime recently. And like, even when he was just trying to transition to this next little video package about MJF, which we'll get to that in a second, it just seemed like he was struggling. Like, he was stumbling over his words, and like, he's not much of a play-by-play guy. I thought this was
because on Wednesdays, it's Excalibur, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Shivani's just there to kind of be the little odd third mic of, man, what a match. That's cool.
And then there was odd moments where you're like it was just a clusterfuck of voices behind there. He's like, whose turn is it to talk? And they're just all like throwing little jabs out there. And it doesn't flow as nicely when you have.
I prefer a 2-man booth. I think it's so much better.
Yeah. And then because JR was in there too, and everyone just wants to get their little piece in. So,
well, there's always that third wheel on commentary.
Yeah.
It just kind of throws everything. You got your Byron Saxton that basically adds nothing of value to commentary.
Kevin Patrick.
Oh, God, don't get me started on Kevin Patrick. You guys know my feelings on Kevin Patrick. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but my God.
You remember when Bruno was on the 3-man team with Jesse the Body and Vince McMahon?
I do, yeah.
So what his role was he was there to do the recap at the end. And he had the odd little comment during the match.
Right.
So that's what you got. If you got a third man, he's there to do the wrap up.
Well, and kind of like, on Nitro, when Mike Tenay was the third guy, they would just use him because he had such a vast knowledge of like lucha libre. So they would have him do most of his talking during like the cruiserweight matches. I mean, that's like an acceptable use of a third guy. Kind of like a subject matter expert in a particular field. But yeah, it's just, I thought that was very interesting. But we moved on to the little Damage Control from AEW here. They had a video package of MJF going up, meeting with Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots to speak out against anti-Semitism.
Well, this was planned before. Like, this was always the goal. This was always planned, and that's why they ran the thing they did on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. So they could do this promo and show it, and yeah.
Well, yeah, he wanted to weave this into the story of him going to talk about anti-Semitism on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it was interesting. I'm still not incredibly comfortable with what they did this week.
Like here's my thing. I know he wanted to be part of a story, but with all due respect to MJF, he doesn't speak for every Jewish person.
No, not at all.
That's my thing.
And I saw people that I know.
It's a tough one though, because it's his story though.
I understand that.
The coins have nothing to do with any other Jewish people. That's his story. So that's the tough one. It's a bit of a lot.
I mean,
it's a bit of a tough. You're walking the fence, right?
No, it's kind of a trope that Jewish people are penny pinchers and they like to save money.
Yep.
Well, you can start reading into things all you want, but he's the one that got hit with the quarters, threw the quarters at them, right?
Yeah, I understand that, but like I said, I understand why they did the story. It's still they didn't and especially because they didn't get as much.
I just forget. You're right. The timing of it.
Yeah, the timing.
They could have said, "Let's wait on this one,"
and that's where I'm at too. Like I'm not entirely opposed to them doing an angle like this, but not in the middle of an Israeli conflict in the Gaza Strip, where tons of casualties have occurred. It's just, I mean, they should have kicked us down the road a little bit. Maybe it's been why don't we wait about 6 to 8 months? See if maybe it's okay to run this
MJF has emotional problems going to see New England match. I don't know what that means.
I think he meant emotional promo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think maybe he went to the prom.
Maybe he went to the prom with the New England Patriots. Can you imagine?
I mean, Giselle's single now, right? She's not with Tom Brady anymore.
Talk about some deflated. No.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to match number 1. Samoa Joe versus Willie Mack for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. It's good to see Willie Mack. I've always liked him. I always thought he was really good on the independent scene.
Jay kind of looks, he's got that JYD feel.
He does. He looks a lot like the Junkyard Dog. He really does. He's got
like size-wise.
He's got the same size, the belly, the big scruffy
Yeah,
beard.
And
I mean,
he's
he looks
very
like
athletic for a man of his size.
Yes.
Like him in Lucha Underground,
Mm-hmm.
doing things you would never think that people like him should be doing stuff. Like, he's so good.
Willie Mack is a veteran. For anybody out there that doesn't know, he's been around a long time. I mean, I watched him in Lucha Underground, like Joe just said, and I watched him in PWG back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Is that
He's been
rap
around
song?
a long time.
Is that rap song?
PWG.
PWG, yeah, you know me.
Did the Young Bucks rap that? Is that what it was?
I just say things and I find out if it's appropriate or not after I say it.
I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I don't think us white guys should be saying that. So
that makes it funnier. It's like Aaron got no rap game.
Well, you are rocking the Adidas shirt there.
Yeah, the Run DMC, yo.
Run DMC going on. Yeah, I got the Kangol hat.
I got the thing. Yeah, I'm effing all the ghosts out there.
We're doing it, man. We're doing the damn thing. I don't hate it. I can't hate it. Here's my notes on this match. They're not many, but I don't understand why Joe, as the champion, came out first. That always bugs me when that happens. Joe hit a snap power slam that looks like Willie Mack landed on his head. That looked really, really brutal.
That hurt my head. Landed. I'm like,
That just.
Do you ever get that? You kind of feel the pains when you're watching the show. They're like, oh.
It definitely made me wince.
Sympathetic vibes.
I was like, oh, please don't really be hurt. Joe ends up winning with the Muscle Buster. I will start with Canada Dry. What do you think of this opening match?
This match was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect much from it. And even the crowd, they started out saying, Joe's gonna kill you. And then all of a sudden they're cheering for they want to back the Mac. Do you remember that when
back the
Peter
Mac
Long was his manager? Back the Mac.
Rodney Mac.
Yes.
We're getting our Macs mixed up here, but
I thought it was the same guy.
No, that's two different people. Rodney Mac and Willie Mack are two different.
I thought he evolved into Willie Mack.
He evolved.
I thought he did some Pokemon shit.
So what do you think? Mark Henry's the final evolution backstage.
he got a shade darker and like let himself go a bit.
Yes, but yeah, this was a really good match. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, you knew Joe was winning, but Willie Mack had a good showing, and I like when they let people look good.
Yeah, I like Willie Mack. I've always liked him. I've always been a fan of his. He did a lot of work in Ring of Honor. He did a lot of work in Impact. He's been in NWA.
So he's never in WWE.
He's been everywhere but WWE. I think he had tried out for.
And he's no relation to Rodney Mack.
No,
not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think he's related to Rodney Mack.
This is my first goof of the episode. So maybe we can put little strikes for every time I goof out.
We need to have like a little meter we can pull up of like a.
Oh, if we could get the little X's from Family Feud.
Yeah. And we could just start
putting 3 of those. I gotta go on a timeout or something. Penalty box.
Golden Graham, what'd you think of the opening match here?
I enjoyed this match. Like, it's weird because like Willie Mack is really charismatic, and it feels like they really turned it down for him because he's usually very outgoing, very high energetic guy. It was like a different kind of Willie Mack, but I really liked it. I like that he still uses the stunner. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't think Willie Mack can take on Jason Voorhees. I just don't think it's fair.
Did you see what happened when a boxer tried to fight Jason Voorhees on a rooftop and Jason Takes Manhattan? Did you see that?
I've never seen that movie.
Do you remember that?
Which episode? Which movie was that?
Jason Takes Manhattan. It was the one from like 19 89 or 90, something like that.
So why don't you just tell us what happened to this poor boxer?
So there's a boxer who is like, yeah, I'll get you MFer. And then he starts throwing hook shots at Jason. And he finally gets tired and winded. And Jason uppercuts him and his head goes flying off the building. So,
I thought he'd use a knife or something, bring a knife to a fist fight. But
it's one of the funniest kills in horror. So yeah, I'd recommend checking that out if you haven't seen it. I'll send you the clip if I find it. But
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to slide into my DMs.
Oh yeah, baby. Ooh, that's after dark for you.
We need that one. Oh
yeah.
That's the button we need to add to this.
I like the old school like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh yeah.
Or just get the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
All right. You both chimed in on that match, right?
We chimed.
I thought so, but I wanted to check before I moved on. We saw Lexi Nair backstage with CJ Perry, who's rambling about possibly wanting to manage people. Action Andretti comes in out of nowhere, full ring gear, introduces himself, and presumably wants to be managed by her. End of segment. Okay. Yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on Action Andretti and CJ Perry?
Can we just jump to what happens later in the show just to tie this together?
Well, I guess we can. Yeah. I mean,
okay. Let's do the full bit. We'll do the full bit on that first. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Eyesiks.
The full bit. You want to jump ahead to the Miro thing?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Action Andretti comes in later on in the show. Miro comes out, holding Action Andretti by the scruff of the neck, pretty much saying, "You want to try and have my wife's services? You're gonna pay the price."
Now, what kind of services are we talking about, Mr.
Managerial services.
Managerial services. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so this is going to be something that it's totally uninteresting, if I'm being honest.
Well, I disagree. I hope every week someone tries to talk to Lana and Miro just goes
and Miro kills him.
Yes, like I just want like every single member of the AEW roster.
No, not even just let it be ROH guys that just come on.
Lower ROH guys trying to climb the ladder.
Let Miro just kill some poor ROH guys. Yeah,
yes.
I can see that. Let's move on to match number 2. We got Juice Robinson versus out of nowhere returning Christopher Daniels. That was interesting. There was dueling Fallen Angel and Let's Go Juice chants. I've never heard anybody chant for Juice Robinson on the show, but
that's because he's getting over, guys.
Yeah,
slowly but surely.
He's apparently starting to get over with the crowd, and he's got a contingent of fans. Juice won this match. To me, I liked seeing Christopher Daniels back. He still looks crisp and sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could still do technical wrestling. I thought this was a pretty decent match. I'm going to be honest. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. I'll go ahead and go over the promo stuff and then we can cut to you guys. Juice wins the match. Jay White gets down on his knee like he's going to propose to him and gives him a ring, presumably a replica of the ring that he could be winning on Wednesday. Juice gets on the microphone, says, I actually bought this from TJ Maxx, and says when he wins the real ring, he's going to go straight to the pawn shop and sell it, and Bullet Club Gold is going to go on vacation. Joe Graham, what do you think of this match and the segment that followed it?
Yeah, this match was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Juice won clean without the interference, really much interference from Bullet Club. I think they need to really, if they really want to, other than Jay White, make this a credible faction, like they got to start getting some like legit wins. So, and the promos were great. I really look forward to Jay White and MJF. I'm curious as to if they're actually going to give the ring to Juice.
Yeah, it seemed like they were that's what they were doing. They were kind of promoting that he might be the guy to get it. I don't know.
So my question is, like, next week, do they is it one of those things where the last two have the match and then the winner of that goes on to face MJF? Like, because the rules seem to change every year with this battle royal.
I don't know. We probably won't know till Wednesday. Canada, what do you think of this match and segment?
Okay, considering it's two people I could care less about, I do not like Christopher Daniels. There's one of the most boringest wrestlers in the history of wrestling. It would say Christopher Daniels right next to it.
You don't like Christopher Daniels at all? Huh?
Never liked Christopher Daniels.
Wow.
Okay, did you watch Christopher Daniels in TNA?
No.
See, that's the thing. You had to have seen Daniels when he was at his best, when he was working the X division in TNA.
Okay, but he still had the same personality, right?
No.
Well,
I mean, yes.
You know what? Him coming out
yeah.
with what you right? Didn't he still have the same personality?
Well,
yeah, but he wasn't
You don't
really
change
relied
that.
on to really talk like that.
No.
Like
the X division didn't really talk.
Exactly, that's my point. Like he looks like you remember when Kevin Nash called CM Punk a fry cook? That's
Yeah, he said he was a Waffle House cook.
Yes,
right?
that's what
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels looks like.
I don't know. I really
I
enjoyed it.
do not like Juice Robinson. I still don't like Juice Robinson. He's try hard to the max. Like
I'll tell you what. I want to see Juice Robinson in one of Tony Storm's silent movies.
Mm.
I wouldn't mind that. Like, but he's stuck with the Bullet Club Gold. He can't get any of her, and I think it would take away some of her thunder.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying right now, but I hope eventually it happens.
Yeah. But it was an okay match. I'm not going to take away from that. It was meant to get Juice Robinson over, and it did exactly that.
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing we saw here was a nice, random, pretty good Dustin Rhodes promo
Yes.
video package saying that he's going to win the Diamond Battle Royal because it's in Texas and he's a Texan.
How ridiculous is that?
Yeah. I mean, I thought this was a very good promo, though. I mean, the guy
It
can
was,
hell of a promo.
Let me just say this, is that if he ends up being the last man with Juice Robinson, are they telegraphing it? Like, could that be
Yes.
happening?
Yes.
Like, why even bother?
Considering these are the only two people they hyped for this battle royal. Yeah.
Yeah, if they end up being the last two, it's just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing here. I think it's going to be Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, I hate, like,
and Juice
don't
Robinson.
telegraph to us the answer. Like, as prediction guys, it's good, but as a wrestling fan, it's not.
What'd you think of the promo, though? Did you like the promo?
I did. I love this guy. Could promo the fact that he's the worst wrestler in AEW, and I'd still love it.
Golden Graham, what'd you think of this little Dustin promo?
Yeah, it's a nice promo that just came out of nowhere. Like, I don't remember the last time we saw Dustin Runnels.
I don't either.
I don't remember.
The last time I even remember seeing him was when they were doing like that little tournament. I don't even remember what it was now. It was the one where at Forbidden Door where Punk wrestled Kojima. There's some kind of little tournament for something. I don't remember what it was now, but
Just want to mention Caleb's little comment here. It's be hard for AFW because there's going to be a lot of wrestlers in that Dynamite Diamond ring. Doesn't.
Yep.
Possible.
Yeah.
We should do a side bet.
There's at least going to be a dozen of them.
Watch it be somebody completely left field that wins.
I hope
Maybe
so
they're just
because I don't like telegraphed bullshit. Don't tell me who's going to win.
Yeah.
Before.
I gotcha. Well, let's go ahead and move on here. We've got Lexi Nair with Nick Wayne, who lets Nick Wayne know that on Dynamite there's going to be a sit-down interview with his mom on Dynamite. I love the fact they don't even give this woman a name. They're just like, it's just going to be a sit-down with Nick Wayne's mom. Like, that's just all she's known as. What do you guys think is going to come out of this segment with Nick Wayne, his mom, and Jim Ross?
I know. I'm excited. I hope Jim Ross hits on his mom. It's just like, how you doing?
He'll be liking her post on X
Yeah.
and Instagram because that's his thing. He likes all their pictures and videos and stuff. Golden Graham, what do you think this segment's going to look like? You have any thoughts on it?
I don't care. They have AEW has killed any interest I've had in Nick Wayne. He is literally treated like the young lion of that group, and it's not getting him over. It's not doing anything for me. I hope in this interview that Christian just walks in and takes Nick Wayne's mom out just to walk away.
All right, guys, we are at a halfway point of the show, and that means it's time for an advertisement. Of course, you can become a wrestler today. You can go down to Largo Florida and go to ftwprowrestling.com. For $250 a month, you can train with Brian Idol, Natalia Markova, and you can become a professional wrestler. Comments?
Yeah, $250 a month, guys. If you live in Florida and you want to be a professional wrestler, by all means, give them a serious look. You'll see from this video package that we're getting ready
We
to
don't have
show.
that on this.
Oh, we don't have that. Well, we showed it earlier on Magic.
Yeah.
So you can go back and look at it there. They take this seriously. They'll teach you the fundamentals. You'll learn how to sell, learn how to properly execute moves. This is what you need to do.
And not just that. Like, there's other wrestling schools that say, oh, come to this person's school, but they're not there.
Yep.
Brian Idol and Natalia Markova are actually the trainers there. It's not just name brand advertising. So
Exactly.
You know, I think just even 1 month of having Natalia Markova slam me like every class, like it's worth the money.
Canada Dry
pay
signing up for
$250
extra classes.
Yes, like I think I need extra attention.
Can I get private lessons?
All right, so we've started a new segment on the show. It is a little section called Wrestling with the Paranormal. So if you didn't see it on Friday, we had this video in the vault. It really freaked out Liam and I. So I want to show you guys and get your guys' thoughts. Okay, I'll just walk you through it. Here we go. All right, so this guy's late at work, and he's getting kind of cold. You see he's going around. He's kind of got his hands there, and he's kind of blowing it into his hands. And all of a sudden he hears this noise, and the light is on in the other room. So he's going to check it out. So he goes over there, checks it out. Nothing's going on. Goes back to his desk. Sits back down. And then this happens shortly after. Here's another noise. And the light turns on. So he's going to check it out. He's creeped out right now. You can see. Now watch this. Would you run to?
Wow. I love the little scurry that he did where he threw his hands up in the air. Like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness. But there's a little bit there's a little ending piece to this. Watch. The light comes back on, the door opens, and there's a shadow figure in the door.
Oh wow.
So what are your thoughts on this, Joe Graham?
I'm getting a new job. Whether it's real or fake, like I take medicine now just for anxiety, and I haven't felt this anxious watching that video in a very long time. Like it makes I'm like Like that would literally trigger my flight or flight, and I wouldn't have been around as long as that guy was. So, yeah, no.
You know, I
This just
work
tells the moral of this lesson: don't stay in an office after hours.
Yeah, do not stay late to get ahead.
You know, I work in a building that has about a couple hundred people in it, right? And you know, there were times that I had to go in at nights and on weekends, and like there's no creepier feeling than being in a big office by yourself.
Yes.
So I mean, that alone is creepy. But if shit like this is going on top of that, yeah, I'd have to be out of there. I don't think I can handle it. I don't think I can.
Yeah, it kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies just watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Like I'm now. I feel like I have to look out my window here and see if there's anybody standing outside my window.
Like I said,
So if
whether
you
that's
guys-
planned or not, nah, I'm out. Goodbye, sir.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked out Wrestling with the Paranormal Fridays, this is the kind of stuff that we show on a regular basis. It's just good stuff. It gives you the chills. We tell some really good stories. Like this last Friday, we talked about the Demon House in Indiana. And this, if you've never heard the story of the Demon House of Indiana, check out our show from Friday, Wrestling with Paranormal. And we're on normally at 6 o'clock Eastern time if you want to watch us live.
Yeah, definitely check that out. I've made appearances on that show before.
I've been on the show before.
Yeah, we've been on it before. It's a fun show. It's different than the rest of the shows you see on the channel here. Different in a good way. Check it out. I think you'll like it, especially in the Halloween season. You definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, and we're going to continue showing clips, maybe from the show, maybe other ones that I find, just because they're so fun. It makes it a different sort of side quest for the garage.
Yeah, I am totally for that. I think that's a nice little break where we can kind of talk about something different and kind of reset our brains.
And it's not Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it's not Bill Cosby. We did a
next
good
time,
Bill
I
Cosby
need that video
last week.
This was a 10 video. Can you bring like a 5 next time so my heart doesn't want to jump out of its
I'll
chest?
try my best. We'll see what we can do. But I try for the 10s.
All right, guys. When we get off of here, we all need to sit down and watch the Paranormal Activity films.
Oh,
no, not at this time.
No.
Not at 11 o'clock at night, sir. Not a chance.
Okay, so I originally wasn't a horror person. And I said, you know what? What's the hubbub about? And I thought it was real. I didn't realize it was real. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, they definitely made it look real for sure. Yeah. That first one in particular, I mean, some of the later ones got a little crazy, but like the first one in particular is like extremely creepy.
What was the one where they had the I guess they all kind of have they all got the holding the video cameras, but there's one I think it was 2 or 3 that I watched. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's like a whole series of them, and I mean they're all creepy AF. They are. So
yeah,
if you want to get creeped out, I'd recommend checking them out. I think I'm pretty sure I have the whole collection on digital, so you might have to revisit that.
So what match do we have next? Getting back on track.
We got match number 3. We got Kyle Fletcher versus one of the guys from Iron Savages. I think his name was Boulder.
Yep,
Is that his
Boulder.
name? Yeah.
He's got a bear boulder. He's just Boulder now.
This guy basically tries extremely hard to emulate Otis. Like he looks like him. He uses the same kind of mannerisms, tries to use the same kind of goofy humor in his matches. There was a lot more ass eating innuendos here. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher won. That's about all there is to say. I mean, Fletcher looks good. He kind of undershot the plancha to the outside.
Yeah.
And almost completely missed the guy if he hadn't taken a step forward. But it's obvious they're building up Fletcher here, and I like that. Yes. I think he's a tremendous talent. He's young. We talked about we gushed over this kid like I think last week on the show, so we don't need to rehash that. But Golden Graham, what'd you think of this match?
Another solid showing for Kyle Fletcher. I mean, this is the way you build him up. Give him 5-10 minutes, let him go out there, just look solid, look good, get the win in a nice, decisive fashion. And then I guess we'll talk about his follow-up promo later.
Yes.
Very excited for that.
Yeah. Can't F and dry. What'd you think?
don't think this Bear Boulder and his little Iron Savages are going to go very far. I just don't see it. They're trying too hard. They're trying. You remember the Mean Girls? Stop trying to make fetch work, Becky. Like, it's not working.
We've got a Mean Girls reference in response to giant burly men with beards. So.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
I think that is apropos here, Canada Dry.
Yeah.
I think it is.
But it was a quick. It was still entertaining. It was still entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely entertaining. I got to give them that. The Acclaim segment was next. I kind of got interrupted during this, so I didn't pay too much attention. I saw obviously Caster's doing his MJF crush thing, and they're talking about, well, you know, if this is what you want, then I guess this is what we want. And you know, Garcia and crew comes in. All the former Jericho Appreciation Society folks come in and talk a little smack to him. And Garcia wants to do his little dance and is interrupted, and the crowd booed that he wasn't able to do his dance. I find
you missed a really key part of this promo, I guess, because you stepped out. But they're trying to like coach up Caster on how to actually talk to MJF.
Oh,
they seem like he comes on really strong. So they're talking, like, you got to say something nice. So they bring in Renee to try and sub in his MJF to have Max say something nice. And he's like, so how about them oral sessions? And she's like, really? She's like, you're an idiot, and walks away.
It's interesting here. I mean, I
there's a reason why she changed the name of the show from Oral Sessions to just The Sessions.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she got signed by AEW, so
no, they realized that it's like not a good idea to call it Oral Sessions.
They used to make jokes about that in like the early episodes of her podcast.
Yeah,
like I remember people would make jokes about it. But that's I'm not sure what they're doing here. I mean, obviously, I guess they're trying to get the Acclaimed aligned with MJF so that they could team up together and take on Bullet Club Gold, I guess is where they're going with this.
Yeah.
The whole Max Caster being obsessed with MJF thing, I don't know. I'm not digging it too much, to be honest with you, but
like I said, if you don't follow it on Twitter or X, you're going to think it's dumb.
Yeah. I don't mind it as a one-off for against Bullet Club Gold versus MJF and the Acclaimed. I don't mind it.
Here's my thing, though. I don't understand why the Outcast, JAS, are getting a trios title match. Like,
because they can't
get along, though.
They beat the Hardys.
Oh, okay. But these are literally three guys that can't get along at the moment.
But this is what they do lately on Raw. I'm sorry. On Ramp. I don't know.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, I did it again. Strike two. I think I really need to download those.
I think you're gonna have to, yeah. Because I mean, these late Saturday nights where we're sitting here and we're like half asleep, and you know, we got the giggles about everything. Like we're gonna screw up a lot, so I think we need that. Let's move on to match number 4, gentlemen. We got Sky Blue versus Chris Statlander. This was a good match. I like this. I thought this was a really good match. Statlander looks amazing. Sky Blue looked good. I thought she looked really good. Got the dark circles going on under her eyes so they can kind of tease this little heel thing she's got going on.
Do you know what Dallas said after this match? I got to tell you before you go on.
What's that?
You know what Dallas said in chat?
What did Dallas say?
Dallas said that Sky Blue carried Statlander.
I don't think there was no care. Like, both of these girls did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. Both.
I don't think no one was really carrying anyone in this match.
Well, I disagree because everyone seems to be having their best match with Statlander.
That doesn't mean Statlander's carrying the match.
She's elevating them.
Yes, that's fine, but there's a difference between.
No, you're not. Carrying would mean that you're right. Not carrying, but she's helping them be the best.
She brings out the best in everybody.
Yes,
which is a good thing.
And if who's ever leading a match can make someone look really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Bret
yeah.
Hart was known for making people look amazing that had no reason to look amazing.
No, but there's also times where Brett literally carried matches. You could say that about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was a good match. Statlander wins. She went to help up Sky Blue, who refused to let her help her. And then Willow Nightingale comes running out of nowhere with the black circles under her eyes, too. Runs in the ring like she's so concerned that Statlander's going to beat up her friend Sky Blue. And Statlander walks away confused while Willow sits there and stares at her with Sky Blue. I thought that was kind of strange, but what do you think this is building towards here? You think that Nightingale and Sky Blue are going to like team up with Julia Hart? Is that what's going on here, you think?
Yep. That's what I think.
Golden Graham, that's what you think. Canada Dry, what do you think they're doing here?
I that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
To join the make a female version of the House of Black.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I don't know where they're going with it other than just make heels.
Willow, I'm concerned about this for Willow because she had that kind of Bailey-esque type gimmick, and the crowd seemed to love that. Like if they make her all dark, are people gonna?
Yeah, I think
this?
this is
You could say
way too soon for Willow to be a heel.
I do too.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Sky Blue. Like she was really starting to get over as that underdog baby face as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like with Sky Blue, it's more natural for her to be a heel than someone like Willow. Like she's just got that bubbly essence about her.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't think Willow should be a heel. I mean,
but if you look at it, that's what AEW like. That's their track record of taking young up and comers who could be fan favorites and just making them heels. Willow, Sky Blue, they just did it with Nick Wayne, and then
they did it with Julia Hart.
And it's like Jeremy and I say, like if you really want to elevate yourself, you got to go heel. Let that more. You get more dexterity in your character, and then you can go full on babyface after that and have a resurgence.
All right, gentlemen, moving on here. We had a Kyle Fletcher promo where he calls out Kenny Omega for Dynamite. Gentlemen, how excited are you to see Kyle Fletcher and Kenny Omega tear it up on Dynamite? I'll start with Golden Graham.
If Kenny Omega does not... Oh, so you're going with the...
No, go ahead. You can go ahead, Canada Dry. Go ahead.
If Kenny Omega does not win this match, I'm going to throw something at my TV. It's like, he's like the anti-Young Bucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't get like enough wins for his character.
Right.
Like he needs to be a little bit more selfish sometimes.
Golden Graham, what do you think?
I don't know. I know the match is going to be great, but I can't help but to think this is Kyle Fletcher's way of trying to make it up to the Don Callis family.
Okay.
Unless they've dropped that all together, which I wouldn't mind because I don't think.
And Kenny Omega hasn't had any singles win in how long?
Yeah, it's been a while.
He rarely ever wrestles singles matches.
But,
That's
whenever
probably
he has
just to
one.
protect his health for one.
Yeah.
The John Moxley one in the cage, lost. Takeshita, lost.
Yeah. I definitely think Omega's going over in this match, but it's going to be a great match. I would strongly assume the Don Callis family will get involved at some point. Hopefully they don't ruin it. Because I
just have
want
a
to
question for GM Joe.
Yes.
Is Caleb wearing chapstick right now?
Nah.
He's kissing your ass pretty hard.
Matt B asked a question here about did you guys watch the match where Kenny Omega fights a kid in Japan? I've just seen clips of it. I haven't actually watched
I haven't seen the whole match. No.
It's hilarious. I mean, there's that. Then there's Kota Ibushi fighting a blow-up doll.
I did see that. I saw the little clip of him doing the repeated Canadian destroyers with it.
Yeah.
Like
to be
Caleb's
fair,
response to the chapstick and kissing his ass.
No.
To be fair, like both of those, I do believe they're both in DDT, and that's what DDT is known for. Is it's over the top comedy wrestling So
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
pretty
like
sure
to
I
see
saw.
some of Natalia Markova's stuff in DDT.
Oh, was she there for a period of time?
She was there
Hmm.
when
nice.
Kenny Omega and Sami Zayn were there.
Like
Oh, yeah.
you've heard the sayings like, "Oh, you could wrestle a broomstick and have a good match." That's like literally what they do in DDT sometimes.
I saw a clip of DDT where like a giant pink dinosaur was wrestling some Japanese guy. I thought it was a little odd,
But on par.
but that's what DDT does. So, I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, that's the kind of thing you like. Go check out DDT.
DDT they have this thing like the Iron Man heavyweight title. It's like their hardcore title. It's defended like everywhere 24/7.
Oh, jeez.
Like they've had like
They'd call it the 24/7 title.
yeah. No, they just call it the DDT like Iron Man heavyweight title. But like I don't know if you watch Cultaholic, but they're one of the presenters on there is like a 2-time DDT heavyweight champion.
So you're saying if we get big enough, we could become the DDT Iron Man heavyweight champion?
Hey, it's possible.
Hey, Markova could probably get you in touch with the DDT officials. We can make that happen. Yeah. I would offer my services as narration, English commentary. And,
yeah, you got to have that English commentary to get a foothold in the States. So
yeah. DDT, if you want an English language commentator, Mr. Eyesiks would do it for you for a reasonable nominal fee. So reach out.
A reasonable nominal fee. I'm sure any one of us is willing to step up to the plate. If you need a 3-man booth.
Could you imagine being in a 3-man booth with 2 Japanese gentlemen who are talking and you're just like,
we're just like, so wrestling with the paranormal from Friday.
We got a promo video for Roosh coming back, looking like he's a cartel leader.
Preston Vance still doesn't fit in.
Yeah, Preston Vance is there with them, and who were the other ones that were there? Jalistico and somebody else.
Jose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'd like them to do is just replace Vance with a Mexican wrestler and act like nothing happened.
That would be hilarious.
That'll
just
bring
call
in bring in Hernandez that used to be in TNA. Bring him in. I'd rather see him than Preston Vance, anyways. Always kind of liked Hernandez.
Hernandez is he's so good. Very underrated.
Is he still involved in Impact at all? I don't think so. Well, I just remember when he was there in his heyday, and he was awesome.
LAX.
Always liked him. Yeah. We got match number 5, Keith Lee versus, and I'm sorry, I didn't get the guy's name. I know he's an OVW wrestler because I've seen him on OVW programs before. He's part of a tag team.
Something ridiculous. I forget.
Yeah, he looks like
a on the Netflix thing.
I don't know. I haven't watched the Netflix show yet, but I watch OVW on occasion since I live here in Kentucky and it airs on television here. And I've seen him. He's a part of a tag team. I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me, so I don't mean any disrespect to the guy. He looks like a pumped up version of Effie. That's kind of what it looks like. I think Dallas actually
just over so quick that
Yeah, so Keith Lee comes in. It's a squish match. Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty are watching. Guys, I have a question for you two, and I want to know your thoughts on this. They have been building up this low card feud between Shane Taylor and Keith Lee for like over a month now. Like they're acting like this is like some big main event that they're building up for weeks on end. And I'm pretty sure nobody cares about this.
Didn't they already have a match? Or am I dreaming?
I don't think so. I don't recall them having a match.
Do you know what I care more about than this one is the Ortiz and Santana match.
Oh, yeah.
That should get more time than this.
That'll be more of a story. Yeah. But they have been building this up since before Wrestle Dream. And I thought maybe like they would be wrestling on the like the buy-in for Wrestle Dream. No. They're still building it up. Like, where's this going? And nobody cares. And by the time the payoff happens, everybody's just going to forget that these like 10 weeks of promos even happened.
Did we already get a match from them at Wrestle Dream?
I don't think so, no.
That was in the pre-show.
I don't think they did.
Oh, yes, it was part of a tag team. So they were kind of went, but not really.
This is going to be the new swerving Keith Lee 2.0. Goes on forever and there's no payoff.
Keith Lee, man. God bless. He was like on top of the world, like what 3 or 4 years ago when he came out in the Royal Rumble and like went up against was it Royal Rumble or Survivor
Yeah,
Series?
against Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because Brock was in the ring screaming, "Woo, that's a big boy."
Yeah, that's right.
I
Like,
have an idea.
he was on top of the world.
I have an idea for this guy.
Let's hear it.
Bearcat Keith Lee.
Oh Jesus!
No, you know what they should do with Keith Lee?
What's that?
Put him in Willie Mack's role. Keith
Yeah.
Lee and Samoa Joe for the ROH TV title.
I don't hate it.
I
think
would
it'd be quite good.
I would love to see.
You let because Joe's already talked about going after the AEW title again. So give it like a month. Let him set the reign for longest TV champion. Then have Keith Lee win the ROH TV title, and then boom, now you have a legitimate reason for Keith Lee and Shane Taylor to feud over the ROH TV title.
There you go. Joe Graham has got it all booked out. Tony Khan just needs to reach out to him.
I'll accept that.
You know, he's not only the best GM in AFW, he's going to be the best GM in AEW too when Tony Khan gets
Did you know I awarded him the GM of the week? Dallas was not happy.
The first inaugural
Yes.
GM of the week.
GM of the week.
Every week I pick a GM out of our many GMs.
All two of us. No, we could throw in the ladies as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you've got ladies involved in this now. Yeah.
I'll alternate between you and Dollywood. Halos up.
Halos up. All right, so the next.
Oh, you actually look like you got a halo right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like right over the head right here. Yeah. We got the little Miro thing that we talked about earlier. We've already kind of discussed that, so we'll move on. It looks like, and I saw a rumor of this, that AEW apparently now has a deal with CMLL, and we got a little video package hyping up Mystico versus Rocky Romero for Rampage. This is interesting. I wonder if this means they're going to cut ties with AAA, because AAA and CMLL don't play nice with each other whenever they're involved in promotions. I mean, that caused an issue with New Japan working with AAA when they started working with CMLL. So do you think there's some kind of falling out here with AAA?
I think so. Like anyone who's signed to AEW is no longer signed to AAA, except for a few of them.
Yeah. Golden
They're probably
Graham
finishing up soon. So
you think they're finishing up here? Yeah.
I'd be curious. I wonder why. Maybe they just think CMLL is a better partnership.
Well, there's also that beef with New Japan.
Yeah, it might be that too. Because CMLL and New Japan have a working relationship.
Yeah, so it's like, well, if AAA is going to make a big deal out of this and won't let our guys go be part of the New Japan thing, then.
And that was a problem, yeah, because I remember that AAA got involved and wanted to keep some talents from being involved in Forbidden Door. I remember that.
And it caused some people to say, I'm no longer a part of AAA.
Yeah. So, I mean,
however, I do have a little bone to pick with this promo. And I understand why they said it. But for them to sit there and say that Mystico is the best luchador to ever come out of Mexico is a flat out lie. Because Rey Mysterio Jr. would like to talk to you.
Rey Mysterio is the greatest luchador of all time.
Yes.
And I only say that because Bret Hart says it, so it must be true.
Bret Hart he doesn't just say best luchador. I think he says Rey Mysterio is the best wrestler he's ever seen. Didn't he say that in an interview recently?
They just say that all the time about lots of wrestlers. They just smoke up each other's asses all the time. Honestly, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he did say in an interview recently though that he thought Rey Mysterio was the best wrestler in the world.
I know he said he's one of the best wrestlers he's been in the ring with, or something to that effect.
I don't think they've ever been in the ring with each other.
I don't know. I don't recall them being in the ring.
That's crazy. Like, that boggles my mind how that never happened when they were both in WCW.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to have seen like a prime Rey Mysterio Jr. as like a legit luchador.
Or Chris Jericho and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Lionheart, Chris Jericho against Bret Hart. It would have been amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely, it would have been. It would have been a great match to see for sure. We then get an announcement of Miro versus Action Andretti next week on Collision. I think we probably know how that's going to go. That'll be our squish match review of the night. So we are finally at the main event. And we've got Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage. Here are my notes. Got good old JR carded out to the announce table again.
Bringing out the golf cart.
Yep, bringing out that golf cart, that cowboy hat sticking out the top. Great technical wrestling here, which, you know, you're always going to get from Danielson. Christian Cage chain wrestled with Bryan Danielson. It looked amazing. It did. This was a clinic. I absolutely love this match. Lots of submissions from Danielson. FU Christian chants. The crowd was white hot for this. Told a good story here of Christian working the arm. Danielson was selling it like it was legit broken, like a wounded animal. God bless that man sells so. I mean, is there anything in the ring this guy doesn't do well? Like he's
win
just
championships in AEW.
Yeah. But I mean, the way he's
that makes a valid point where you do not need a championship when you're this good.
No. I mean,
it would look cool, but he doesn't technically need it.
He doesn't need it. I don't really see why Tony Khan hasn't put it on him unless he's got some health issues or something.
I think it's basically been Bryan Danielson saying no.
Yeah, he's basically said, I don't need it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, if you put it on me, I'll do it, but I'd rather someone else get the rub.
Excellent storytelling here. Danielson is selling that he can't fully lock on the label lock because of his arm injury. Just excellent. Big Bill comes out for the distraction. Starks jumps in, hits Danielson with his tag title belt, which allows Christian to get the win. Schmaz at the end. Adam Copeland and FTR come in for the save. And basically, we've got kind of the same scenario that we had at the beginning promo of the show. Just at the end this time. Great match. Absolutely loved it. Canada Dry, what do you think of the main event?
This is why we tune into Collision.
Yeah.
Like, we basically got a match that was, like, except for the schmoz at the end, was basically pay-per-view quality. It was just under a half-hour match.
Yeah.
You know, it was a nice slow start, and it kind of picked up, and then just like went into full gear at the end. Just masterful storytelling with the arm. It was definitely a great match.
Yeah. Golden Graham, what are your thoughts?
So, like, we always give our flowers to Danielson. I'm going to give him to Christian for this. This is just another layer as to why he's doing the best work of his career right now in AEW.
Agreed.
Like, his mic work is impeccable. Like, I did not see this match coming from Christian at all. I didn't think we were getting this, and I loved it. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, up until a little spoiler for our match of the night, like, I was ready to give this my match of the night to Joe and Willie Mack until this happened.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't give this the match of the night. It was a half hour, like Canada Dry said, of a match that could be on a pay-per-view. And it was beautifully told. I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah. I think that kind of does it for the main event. And so we are at the part of the evening where we are going to choose our match of the night, segment of the night, and bell rating for the evening. And I don't know why I got into a whispery ASMR voice here, but
I don't know, but it's turning me on.
I better stop because this might turn to a legit threesome.
Oh,
Hi-oh.
Collision After Dark.
It's after dark. Gentlemen. It is.
And Joe Gare's wife is fast asleep. So
when the wife is asleep, the boys will play.
Okay.
You know what they say? Halo's up. No.
Halo's up.
All right, gentlemen. Who wants to start the night?
I'll start.
Let's go with Golden Graham.
So my match of the night, we just talked about it, is Danielson and Christian. My promo of the night, the one that made me laugh the most, I'm giving it to the Acclaimed with Renee. Like, it was fun. It made me laugh. And this is what there wasn't too many promos on here. Like, Bang Bang Gang was basically the same thing they've been saying for the last couple weeks. And I'm giving this 4 stars. Like, it was a solid show. I loved it. There was even the squish match was entertaining because it's Keith Lee. I mean, he doesn't do anything not entertaining.
Yeah.
So,
Canada.
I do want to. I would have loved to give Sky Blue and Chris Statlander the match of the night, but I can't. So I'm going to give them an honorable mention because I think they killed it. I think it elevated Sky Blue's status, and I think it was her best match in AEW. But I give it to Christian and Bryan Danielson. It was a hell of a match, and they deserve it. I'm giving it to the opening segment. That got the blood boiling. It got everything. You get excited for the show. What's going to happen? I had that big feel. So yeah, that. And I'm giving this 4.3 stars.
All right.
I mean,
gotta throw an odd number in there just to keep the math interesting. But I don't hate it. Joe Graham probably hates it, but I don't. For me,
it's all good.
For me, it's going to sound like a broken record here, but yeah, Danielson and Christian, by far, the best match of the night.
Well, you got half an hour to play with, right?
Yeah. I mean, just great from start to finish. Excellent storytelling.
Anyone in a half hour with Danielson is going to be a great match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. The blow up doll that Ibushi worked with would probably get a hell of a match out of Danielson. And it would have to be made out of hemp. Because I mean that's Danielson's shtick, right? Yeah. So match of the night is going to be Danielson versus Christian Cage. Welcome, Ayaka.
You missed the whole show. You're gonna have to go back.
Better late than never, though, right?
Yeah, you got to scrub back on YouTube a little bit and watch the rest.
Yeah, just
of the
rewind
it.
it.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it as always. Yeah, match of the night: Danielson versus Christian Cage. Promo of the night, segment of the night. I'm going to go with the opening segment. It was a hot beginning for the show. It set the tone of the show. I like that. I was going to give this a little bit of a lower rating until the main event. And with the main event, it kicked it up substantially. So I'm going to give this episode of Collision a 4.25.
We got our minds melding again, right?
Yeah.
So our aggregate is 4.18 stars. What's up, Dave? How was the show? You were there in person.
Your best friend, Marty.
I know.
He was actually at the show,
Marty's
right?
the one who has all the beef with me. I have done nothing wrong.
Yes, like you've been nothing but good to him.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, don't you give him extra towels in his locker room?
Yeah.
So Dave was actually at the
Swift
show,
in
right?
for him. I tried to.
Dave was at the show. Dallas was
to.
at the show. Taylor Cooper was at the show.
Dave, if I've just got not to put you on the spot, but if you wanted to call in and talk about your live experience and what you saw from the crowd, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
We would love it. We would love it.
But if not, that's cool too. I understand. I've been to shows late before, and it is kind of tiresome, so I totally get it. But I think that's a good score for the show. I do. I think this. It was what was it, Joe? 4.18.
4.18.
4.18.
Yeah, definitely good.
Yeah. I mean, that's
anything
a
over
high.
a 4 is a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wraps up our review of Collision, gentlemen. Canada, do you want to take over from here and start the closing ceremony here?
Yes, of course. If you like to support us, you could join the tiers here on YouTube, or if you want to send us money, you can send to Big Shiny Matrix at hotmail.com. That's our PayPal. And of course, if you want to buy one of our many shirts, like this one, like the one that the F1 Expert is wearing, or if you want to get the beautiful Sharpshooter shirt, Sharpshooter action. I love that shirt.
I do as well.
But of course, I'm wearing the paranormal Ghostbusters shirt here. But yeah, that is our show. On behalf of the effing expert, Mr. Eyesiks, on behalf of the Golden Grab, and on behalf of myself, thank you for watching. But I just want to, as we always do, I just want to just give you a little bit of a pep talk. Sometimes that life, it doesn't always go as we want. Like expectations could be high, and it gives you something else. And it leaves us disheartened and just kind of bummed out. And that's where you get up and you just keep fighting. But sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes you've come to the end of your rope. Sometimes the dread is just too much to bear. And you're thinking maybe you want to end it all. Well, I just want to tell you that don't do it, because movie stars, pro athletes, wrestlers, and all of us here have had that thought too. And I just want you to know that the rain comes down for a little while, but the sun always comes out. And you're going to have those times where you're laughing till your guts hurt. You're going to have those times of new love and new times of happiness. And they're always going to come again, because everything's a cycle. So remember to dust yourself off, reach out for help, and just keep fighting. Trying to keep fighting and find the outro button is not easy.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
When there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.